In 2020, I was metal detecting on a piece of property where on an old 1885 map, I discovered a little black dot. Now, being very familiar with maps, I knew that this had indicated like a structure or a house, but I had hunted and had been on this property countless times and never seen this little black dot. I had recorded the day that I went out and found this black dot after about a month of searching for it. And I didn't get to show you me finding it for a number of reasons. And today, I want to put all that video together and show you me finding this little black dot. But in order to do that, we have to go back in time. August 9th, 2020. I had illustrated in the beginning of actually my very first YouTube video labeled Iron Day about me trying to find this black dot. In fact, I showed a little picture of it right there on the screen. And that's all it is, just this little black dot. Now, being an Eagle Scout and knowing a thing or two about a thing or two when it comes to land navigation, I knew it was a structure. But again, it just perplexed me that there was this structure on this property that I had been to hundreds of times and had never seen it. Needless to say, if you saw the video, I didn't find it. So we have to go back to the future of that specific point to August 15th, 2020. Hey folks, it's Bobby here. We're back at it again this weekend. Beautiful Saturday. It's about 70 degrees, which is a welcoming change from the high 80s and mid 90 temperature that we've been having, high humidity. There's been a few days that we've been out here metal detecting that we have gotten mildly dehydrated. So it's pretty nice that we're going to be dealing with much cooler temperatures. A lot of stuff hangs over this trail. And I think that we're really zeroing in on this home site. I did some more map work, transferred a bunch of my coordinates of my finds, spoken to a few other individuals with a lot of experience with finding home sites. And they've given me some tips, tricks, and pointers. They say that I'm on the right track. If it's there, pretty certain we're going to find it today. If we don't find it, might mean a few things. It might mean that it's no longer there, it's been washed out. Stones that could have been picked up to be used for stone walls. So, well, we got about an hour walk in, so we should probably get to it. So this structure was noted on a map to be relatively close to a river or a swamp. Knowing that the structure was relatively close to a swamp line or a river, I decided to break off from the trail and walk the swamp line, which was very interesting and not as wet as I thought it would be. Okay, I've been breaking along the swamp line. We're actually in the swamp right now, but it's not wet, so we're not having too many problems trying to traverse it. It's just tall swale grass. But something I actually wanted to show you guys, I think you might find it cool, because you don't see them very often. This, as you can see, this area here is much flatter than anywhere else. That is a deer bed. So they'll bed down in areas and try to stay cool and obviously sleep. So the interesting thing about them doing it here in a swamp is that the ground is moist, which means that they're likely going to be absorbing some of the cool water, cool themselves off in those really hot days. So just wanted to show that to you. And we have some old deer poop here, so it's definitely a bed for deer. Hopefully we'll see one. We saw one last time we were here, in this area actually, running that way to that way. But well, we're almost down to the big field. That's the border of the tear of the property that we can be on. We don't have anything yet, but we're in the area. According to my gut feeling, we're in the area. So let's press on. After our search of the swamp line, and no sign of any type of structure that might have been washed out or in the actual swamp, we proceeded into the woods and continued our search for this little black dot. And after about a half hour of walking around, I found it. I'm so excited! I need some water. Well, ladies and gentlemen, after several trips to this property, I can safely say with a high level of certainty that we have uncovered the foundation. It's not really in the area where I thought it was going to be, but it's close enough to where it would make sense. So it is exactly as I thought it would be. It is a big hole in the ground. So we're going to go ahead and crawl down this hole here. I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around. As you can see, you can see the rim. You know, the rim runs around, and then right there is a bunch of stacked stone. There's some more that's right over here as well. And we're just going to go ahead and crawl down here. Yeah, that's absolutely 100% stacked stone there as well. So it's we found it. I didn't think we were actually going to find it, but we found it. Should probably get started on talking about today. Well, coming up to kind of the end of our day today, and sitting in the foundation of a house that was built a very long time ago. You can see the stacked rocks behind me. There's some right there, scattered all around the rim. It's definitely a house. Pulled up a lot of nails. And the only target that we hit that was interesting enough for me to keep a piece of brass. I don't know what it goes to. Everything else was shotgun shells, bullets, nails, no artifacts. Aside from this. So I should probably be a little more excited that I found it, but I can tell by the amount of shotgun shells that have been laying around, I'm not the only person that knows that it's here. And the lack of targets makes me think that it's been metal detected before. Yeah. It's kind of a boring day. It was cool finding this. I had walked by this site, this home site, maybe about 3 or 4 times in the times that I've been metal detecting out here. But 3 or 4 times. Never bothered to come over and take a look. Yeah, don't really have much more to say. kind of a bummer day, you know? Great build-up to, great build-up to the discovery of a site. I don't know. Not much more one can do, really. But I guess that's just the way it works. You know? Can't find gold every time you go out. The reason why I did not air this video was because after I shot this video, I went home and reviewed it, and I was disgusted with myself, with how disappointed I got because I didn't get my way. I didn't find my treasure. In the words of a very wise friend of mine, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey to the destination. And after my bummed out hissy fit that I had, I did not go back to the woods until September 18th, 2020. Attempting to capture the essence of this day was difficult. It was a torrent of emotion. I haven't had emotion in a hobby like this before in a long time. And I think that was one of the things that I had to pull the plug for a month and reassess myself, to check myself, to bring myself into balance. In the teachings of Saint Hubertus, some might know him as the Master Hunter or the Master of the Hunt, or, if you're a frat boy and you drink a lot, Jägermeister. He teaches an element of balance where you are not only a steward of the forest, but you are a steward to yourself. You can't be a steward of the forest if you're not stewarding yourself. And he gave up hunting because he felt as if it was taking him away from the important aspects of life. And in another philosophical quote that actually comes from my father, has to do with hunting and getting into metal detecting. I never realized how much hunting has in common with metal detecting. And he told me at a young age, when I was old enough to go hunting, you have to enjoy the woods, Bobby, if you want to enjoy hunting.